Hi, my name is Sheila Valdez.
My name is Octavia Jarnigan.
My name is Joan Woody. I'm Norma Mercado, and I'm a warrior.
I classify myself as a surviving patient of breast cancer.
And I'm a two-time
Breast cancer survivor.
My name is Cecilia Otis. I am currently still going through treatment.
My name is Eva Grant, and I'm in remission.
Hi, my name is Deb Norris, and I'm sister of Maureen Turcott, who succumbed to her battle with breast cancer in 2013.
Kim Mercado, her daughter.
My biggest self-revelation once I was diagnosed was they do not define who I am. They do not make me a woman, less than or more than a woman. They're just a part of who I am.
My biggest self-revelation when I was diagnosed varies because I've experienced breast cancer 2 times. My biggest revelation was that I was sure the cancer would kill me.
My biggest self-revelation when I was diagnosed, is it me? Is it happening to me?
That I was going through another test, you know. I have other illness besides this one. In a way, I guess I feel kind of blessed that I can even be used in this as an instrument to teach and bless others, you know.
My biggest self-revelation was that cancer does not discriminate.
So you go to your initial mammogram. Mine was in October. I went to my initial mammogram. After the initial mammogram, I didn't receive a letter back. Oddly enough, I was on the phone with my husband. I didn't see a letter from the people saying my tests are normal. He said, don't worry. The next day I got another letter saying, come back. We need to do another scan. So October, I went through several scans, and we kind of had an idea that something was up, but didn't know. So at that moment, October 31st, I began to pray, and I began to journal. And at that time, that's when the Lord spoke, let me take care of you, and you focus on other people.
Oftentimes we worry that cancer is going to be a familial issue. And in our family, it was. I was very concerned about being diagnosed as well, especially because my risk factor was much higher when she was diagnosed at 45. So I actually did go and get seen at Moffitt Cancer, and we determined that there was a familial gene called P10. And as a result of that, I made a decision to do a prophylactic bilateral mastectomy, which when you make a decision like that, you don't always know whether you're prevented breast cancer or not. But I do know, after walking beside my sister in this process in her life, I had the choice to make that decision, which she did not have.
The first time, 29 years ago, the doctor's office, it was just, again, complete shock that this could be happening. The second time, it was not so much of a shock. I just kind of had a suspicion it's probably back again. Through the doctor's office that I got the diagnosis and just started dealing with it from that.
I was in the doctor's office. I had taken a mammogram, and she told me to come to the office so she can tell me the results of it. And that's when she told me, and she showed me pictures. There were pictures on the screen where you can tell the difference from nodules in your breast from the actual cancer. They look different. And once I digested, I don't know whether I fully even digested it yet, but knowing that it does happen, and I've had friends die from it, I just had to realize that, hey, you're in that place. And but going through the treatments, and I really tried not to even think about it. I didn't want to tell my family either. So there was a little problem with me, because just initially accepting it was my big problem.
At my doctor's office, and my response was, what we do next? What's our next step? The most difficult thing I had to face during my breast cancer journey was
I thought it would never run when we were going through reconstruction. When I was going through reconstruction, it went on forever. Reconstruction was long and hard and difficult.
I would support that one. Because we were told that they didn't believe she had breast cancer, and she called me and said, I have breast cancer, I was taken back. Like, that word was such a hard hitter straight to the gut. I'm trying to figure out how to game face it for her.
The fact that I didn't have enough fat around my waist to fill my breasts, and I had to go with implants. And that hurt me more than the diagnosis. So, because I didn't want the implants, I opted to have both of them removed and not go with the implants at all.
The first time I was diagnosed, my self-revelation was that, oh my God, I'm afraid that this is happening to me. The second time is more of one of the stages of grief, anger, that this could happen to me a second time, and after such a long time in remission.
My sister was diagnosed when she was 45 years old, and she found out that she had an issue during a really tough time in our family, and then we discovered what was going on with her, and so there was quite a lot that we had to do to kind of come around and support her.
My mom got sick after I was diagnosed, and I had to take her into my home, and no one knew I had cancer but me. I hear my doctors telling me I'm supposed to have surgery, take this out, and he's gone. What am I going to do now? Who's going to do it? So she sets me up with this other doctor. Oh my God. I didn't know. I was really devastated. Now that's the devastation that I had, because the doctor left me in the middle of my process, and I didn't know what I was going to do.
I guess telling my family, they took it harder than I did, so it was just a matter of calming them at that point.
The most difficult phase of my breast cancer journey was radiation treatment. It was a very painful process.
The most difficult thing that I had to face during this breast cancer journey is the fact that there is no immunity due to your age. There is no immunity due to the fact that you may have experienced breast cancer before, and that you are human and you're going to have feelings and emotions that you must go through during this journey.
One of the things I was fortunate enough to do with her was the 3-day that's put on by Susan G. Komen. And she did it 3 times while she was in treatment. She had had over 365 chemos, and I managed to do it 1 time with her because we were suddenly living in another state as well.
The advice that I would give someone going through breast cancer is as what's revealed on the shirt.
Every journey is different. I've met tons of women, but my story is not the same as somebody else's story.
Nobody's the same. Nobody's body is the same. We all are different. And what you go through doesn't mean that I'm going to go through that. So what I'm going through, what happened to me, doesn't mean that it's going to happen to you.
Stay healthy and enjoy life. No matter how long you've been diagnosed or you've been given, just try to enjoy life in the process of your process.
I would tell them to be patient with themselves, that they can survive. They can survive.
Just make sure you interact with people that are uplifting, keep your faith. Just try to stay focused as much as you can and try not to allow the fear of the unknown take over.
Have faith, have hope, and continue to fight.
While I was going through, my biggest support team was everybody. I would start with my husband first, who I was in the Lord. He reminded me of his love for me. And then my children, who just understood our faith and respected our journey. Early on during the diagnosis, to not make this about me, but to make it about other people.
When I found out about my sister's diagnosis, And I looked at my 2-year-old son, and I remember thinking, this just is surreal. How could this be happening?
My biggest cheerleaders were my daughter and my cousin. My cousin took on a role of cooking for me, even though I didn't need to cook. But she decided she was going to cook anyway and bring me food for the week. And it showed me how much she loved and cared about me, you know, so I appreciate that. And the rest of my family were there as well.
My husband and my family and my friends, they were there every step of the way. The first testing to surgery, through radiation, through the entire journey.
My support system has primarily been my immediate family, my husband, my children, my siblings, and secondarily, it has been my friends, my church family, personal friends, even neighbors have been support systems for me.
My daughter was my support, and she made sure that I could go on, that it was okay. I could go on. The next day would be better.
I didn't. All my other sisters and brothers, they're my siblings. So I was the only one that she can come to because I had just retired, and she can come and live with me, and I can take care of her. She had just gotten out of the nursing home, and I had to bring her to me, and I couldn't tell her because if I told her, it would even make her even worse off. So it was really, really hard for me just to keep it to myself for a while. So I had to do that until my mom got better. And then I told my family, and all of these things was just tumbling at me at once. So I couldn't even really think about myself. I had to think about her. So like I said, she couldn't walk, so I had to take her to the pot. And I had him to do all those kind of things for her and help her bathe and all that. And it was wearing on me. So as it was wearing on me, I had to tell my children.
I didn't have any symptoms. Being so early in the stage, I didn't have any. And I wouldn't have noticed mine because I also have a brain tumor that affects that part of my body. So I would have never known by, checking breasts and nothing like that because I was already, checking for things and I wouldn't have known the difference. There were no symptoms. I didn't have any pain. I didn't feel any lumps. It literally looked like somebody took sand and threw it on my right areola.
When you enter into the world of cancer and you're not the one that's diagnosed, you're still in that world. My sister was stage 4 when she found out, and of 4 stages. And she had a very rare form of breast cancer that grew only in her underarm.
The first time, it was an obvious lump in the breast. And I was in a stage at that point of denial, and I just kind of ignored it for a while. And the lump continued to grow and grow, and there was no pain with that. But eventually I did go to the doctor and, went ahead with mammograms and things like that. The second time, it was another lump in the other breast. Again, no pain. But at that point, I realized I got to look into this right away.
The journey never ends. My diagnosis came in December 2020. I had surgery in December 2021. I still see my doctors on a 3 to 6 month basis. My levels are still high. It's this level called CE&H or carcinoma in situ level. And my levels have fluctuated, but they're still elevated. So I'm a patient because I still take a pill. A woman's body produces automatically estrogen. So the pill I take is a testosterone pill to calm the estrogen down.
The biggest takeaway from this journey, it has driven me to a healthier lifestyle, as I needed to lose the weight because of the type of breast cancer that I had been diagnosed with.
Well, don't use it as a clutch. Don't use it as an excuse to have excuses for everything. If you're going to use it as an excuse, use it as a positive one so you can teach others about it, help others through this situation. Everybody don't respond the same, but if you have a positive outlook, I think it'll help you heal, help you be better. Even on the days you don't feel good and you're going through treatments, I always look for that positive moment in that day, that I made it through the treatment for that day. And it's one day at a time, and it's hard. So if I made it through that day without being sick or feeling bad, that was my positivity for the day.
Me, I would say don't give up. Believe that there is a stronger, we believe have a strong faith base in God, but He puts the doctors here to tend to them.
I have various emotions on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, and I know that I'm just a human.
I remember looking at her and thinking there was no way that she wouldn't beat it because of the amount of strength of character she had and her just personal way about her. And she fought metastatic breast cancer for 6 years and never wavered. I think the most amazing thing to me as I watched my sister battle this disease is that she never wavered in her belief that she would beat it, and she never complained. And I remember thinking, how are you not complaining? How are you not feeling sorry for yourself? And what amazed me about my sister, and still to this day does, is she was a beacon of hope for other people.
In one word, I describe myself as a testimony.
I am a survivor.
Warrior. I'm a warrior.
100% her supporter.
If I could use one word to describe my sister, I'd probably be missing at least 150 words. But I think the word I would choose is courageous.